the whole sequence is so weird because he's like, "Oh, you're trespassing on my land." Like, get out of our way, kid! And he kills them all. He bites off a dude's nose, and then he spits it at the other poacher. He kills them all, and then like the one poacher gets away, and then he goes to, I guess, London. He goes to London, and that poacher comes and he's like, "Oh, we ran into some trouble, but I took care of it." And then he turns around and it's Kraven. He's like, "No, you didn't. I'm Kraven."
Yeah.
And then he's like,
"Oh no, Kraven!"
"Oh no!" So he kills the poacher there, and he's like, "I got a list, and you're on it." And like, "Oh, I can add all these names on my list." Which I was like, "Why is this list coming up?" Like,
it's because it's in the comics. It's like, and again,
why don't you use it?
Right.
Like, I get why they have it, and I thought, "Oh, this is cool. Okay, he's gonna go after all these people on his list." No, he doesn't.
So again, the screenplay just has stuff that like it has to have him saying certain things because they're like, "Hey, so what do we know about?" Like literally, it's like, here's the problem with the entire Sony, villain verse is that all of these characters are they're nowhere near as developed as the main characters, as the heroes, because of course they're not. Like they are side characters in every story that they appear in, and so they're nowhere near, like their lore is nowhere near as deep. So when writers sit down to be like, okay, Kraven movie, they're like, what do we know about Kraven? They're like, okay, so here's how he became Kraven. He was, as a kid on a hunting trip, he was mauled by a lion and he got like this potion. Okay, that's how we know. Okay, he hunts people. He's like an international assassin, and he has a list of names. And once you're on his list, there's nothing he's like this unstoppable force that will come after you. So like, that's kind of all we know. So they've got this movie where like, that's his occupation. And he's got to say to people, I've got a list. And if you're on it, it's bad news. Yeah. But that's not the story of the movie. The story of the movie is not him checking people off his list. The story of the movie is like, oh, my brother got kidnapped and I got to go get my brother.
Yeah.
But like, we got to have
the list movie would have been way more fun.
Way more fun.